Hello, today it's a nice lovely day. I'm going to be doing some reading in the garden. I'm going to be making a YouTube channel. This book is called The Woman with All the Answers. I'm going to be explaining a little bit about the story. The story talks about a Pacific character, and a Pacific character called Alexa thinks she knows everything about another family called Michelle. Michelle's family is very skint, very low on money. Alexa's, no, what is that? Michelle's family doesn't like Alexa. Reason being is because Alexa thinks she knows it all and she doesn't know anything about them. Michelle's family, as I said, they're very skint. They don't have much money, but they have a power of attorney that can save credit and can save money, but they still have to pay the bills. But that's why they've got power of attorney, so they can so they can save up money. They've got social services which can help them out in their lives, but the problem is, why are they low on money? Because her husband, called Marcus, has cheated on his wife called Michelle. Michelle's 52. Why is he cheated? Because obviously he fancies another woman. They've got Snapchat, or whatever it is. They've got Twitter. They do everything online, Amazon, eBay. They do a lot of things on computer. Marcus has sets up his own webcam. He has his own cameras around the house, and they're not very nice people. But Michelle feels bad about herself. Why? Because she's been cheated on, and obviously because she's a bad person. She has been, what else was it? She's also got a daughter called Livia. She's got a little son called, what's his name? Can't remember his name, but he's 16 and he suffers from anxiety. And Michelle's family knows a little bit more than what Alexa does. Why? Because they know their sons and daughters and how they feel. They know what goes on through their lives, but Alexa doesn't know any of that. So Alexa likes to think that she knows it all. She knows Jack. So this is what the book looks like. So it's a good book. I'm chapter 10, so that's how far I've got up to. So I'm going to be doing some reading. I've just done a little bit of introduction. So I hope you like this presentation. So I don't know how long I'm going to spend out here for. Probably about half an hour, something like that. Or an hour, depending on how I feel. So yeah, bye for now. I leave Callum swearing into darkness. I pop off into my kitchen to make a brew. I see my smile in reflection in Kel. It turns out quite good at dark arts of being an Alexa. I could get quite a taste of for this. And more importantly, to do a hell of a lot of good. I have a half day on Thursday, which means I get paid for working in the morning, and then do an unpaid afternoon of labour for everyone else. First up on my first list is taking Dad to the opticians.
will be double if he is ready when I arrive to collect him, and B doesn't say how much. And I bought my house for less than that. In a very loud voice when they tell him what his new glasses will cost. However, past experiences have lowered my expectations, and they lower still further when he calls me just before I set off. What time is opticians today? He asks. It's today, Dad. I say, picking up my bag from the hall. I'll be with you in 5 minutes. I've got Nout ready. That's fine, because all we need is you. Do I need my prescription for last time? No, they'll have all on their computer system. Have I signed it up to that? Does it mean they'll be selling my records? I pull down behind me and hurry to the car. I can't believe that there'd be any company willing to pay money to know about your cataract, and the fact your left eye has a stronger prescription than your right. A monocle marker might. Your sense of humour still healthy. That's one good thing, I say with a smile. I'll see you shortly. I'll put my phone in my pocket and pull out my car keys as I'm about to open it. A man in his 50s walking past says, "Is that a car you got under that layer of dirt?" It's hard to tell. He finds this comment so amusing that he cracks up laughing on the pavement, then looks at me expectantly in acceptation of acknowledgement of his wit and comic timing. Instead, I stare back at him with the wariness of a woman who has heard variation on this joke so many times that I almost have enough material for a stand-up gig. Albert, a not very funny one. Excuse me, I say, gusting at him to stand aside so I can open the door. Cheer up, love. It were only a joke, he says. It's at this point that I snap. Do you know how low down washing this car is on my to-do list? I ask him that because I can tell you it's 257th, right after caring for elderly relatives, making sure my teenage kids are fed, watered and have everything they need school and their emotional development, working full-time, looking after other people's relatives, cooking, cleaning, washing, ironing, actually not ironing. I really don't have the time for that. Doing the finances, shopping and admin for 3 generations of my family, ensuring everyone has a present and card on days they may be expecting. One single-handedly during Christmas, keeping tabs on a husband who spends the potential car wash money on online tat and feeding a guinea pig. Oh, correction. Washing my car is now number 256 on the list because the guinea pig is dead. So unless you'd like to dig up some guinea pig and use it to wash my car by hand, I suggest you shut the fuck up. And if any woman is unfortunate enough to live with you, go home and ask what you want, what you can do to help lessen her load, instead of making smart-assed comments to random busy women about the state of their bloody car. Alright, keep your hair on. Alright, keep your hair on, he says before scuttling off, muttering about me, having no nonsense of humour. I hope he will rule the day he bothered me this, and perhaps think twice before opening his mouth again. I throw my bag in the passenger footway. Sit down heavily in the driver's seat and set off for Dad's in the foreknowledge that if some old boy decides to take it upon himself to direct me into a parking spot, when I get there he may not make it out alive. Are you ready to roll? I call out to Dad when I let myself in. The answer is no, because he's in the kitchen washing up. Come on, that can wait till later, I say. That way lies ruin, he replies. You wash up immediately after every meal to keep on top of things. I resist the temptation to point out that I might have things of my own to do. I really don't want to explain that I've got a GP appointment later to try to get some HRT because I'm not coping. He rising. The last bowl, pops it on the drying rack and dries his hands on the Binghamton tea towel. We used to go there for family holidays when I was a kid. Sea sand and sore arms and legs for sunburn. But in the days before people didn't let their kids out without applying a liberal coat or factor 50, and you didn't have to worry about swimming in sewage. I watch as he slowly gathers his things and takes a moment to straighten his tie in the mirror. He's on a generation who takes pride in everything. From their opinion, right, everything from appearance to their ability to cope. Society with everything life throws at them. I could have done this on my own, you know. Could have got a bus into town. I persuaded him to give up driving a couple of years ago after a few incidents when he came to a halt in the middle of busy roads. Because he wasn't sure which way to go. I know, he says, giving his shoulder a squeeze. But it's nice for me to be able to come with you. It's not often we go on a trip into town together. He nods and puts his bag, big jacket and scarf on. It may be the end of March. Not clearly, it's still midwinter as far as he's concerned. How much, says Dad when told the final bill for his new specs. My house cost less than that. I smile apologetically at the woman serving us, who fortunately takes it in her strides. Just think of all the points you get on your reward card, she replies. What do I want with points? There's nought I need from here, apart from my glasses. Thank you very much. Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm just reading on camera. Thank you very much. I say to the woman, guessing to Dad to hand over his bank card, as I decide that making a quick exit is probably for the best. When we get outside, I take Dad's arms in what I hope he sees as an affectionate way, rather than one which indicates I'm concerned that he might fall over. That's all sorted for another year then, I say, and you'll be able to see more clearly, and you get the new ones. Still don't understand how two little lenses can cost as much as a house. Not a house these days, Dad. The average price is in Halifax is nearly 200 grand. Livia and Callum probably won't be able to afford to buy anything until me and Marcus pop off our clogs. Dad looks at me. His brow frowned, then turns to look slowly around the high street. After that is, and bloody unfair it's all changed since my day. I remember when that were a sweet shop over there and you could get 2 blackjacks and 2 fruit salads for a penny. I still remember end of sweet rotations. 5th of February 1953. It was best day of our bloody lives. No wonder all your teeth have fallen out. I say with a smile, it were worth it though. Best part of school day were taking my penny to sweet shop. On way home, I smile at him and squeeze his arm. Aware that in the chaos of our busy lives, it's so easy to overlook the seismic changes he's seen and how the modern world must be so confusing. And that over there, he says, pointing to a former bank which has been turned it into a bar. That's where I went to open my first bank account and take out a mortgage for our house. Back in day when I were still able to manage my own money. Hey, it's not that you can't manage it, just that they made it bloody difficult for you. You can say that again. They call it progress. Don't they? Only it didn't feel like progress to me. Feels like we're going backwards, not being able to walk into your own bank or talk to anyone in person. Everything being done online. There are no memories to be had anymore. Livia and Callum won't be able to remember any of what they did on computer, and this high street won't be seen of an significant moments in their lives. Just somewhere they might come for a drink with their mates on a Friday night. Dead eyes have teared up. Might have to. I wish I had time to take him for a cup of tea and a cake. I don't though, because I need to be at the surgery in half an hour. Come on, I say, let's get you home. The GP is not one I've seen before. Dr. Davies looks to be around retirement age and has the air of someone who is keen to get patients in and out of his room as quickly as possible and with a minimum of fuss. Take a seat. What can I do for you today? He asks without looking up from his computer screen. I'd like to try HRT, please. I've got lots of perimenopause syndromes and I think it might help me. He nods but doesn't say anything for a moment while he types something in. You're 52. My Mrs. Banks is that right? Yes. And are you still having regular periods? Yes. He finally turns to look at me. Then you're not menopause. He shakes his head. There's no such thing, I'm sorry. The premenopause, whatever it is, doesn't exist. It's been made up by the health supplement industry to sell their product. I stare at him, unable to believe what I'm hearing. But I've got the symptoms, all 34 of them. I I think you've been reading too much women's magazines articles and reading nonsense from celebrities online. He says it in a tone of voice so patronising that I'm tempted to strangle him with his own. I'm medically trained on a district nurse. I think you'll find there are nice recommendations on it and everything that may be so. But I can tell you from many years of experience that the premenopause really doesn't exist and you're still having periods, so it's clearly not the menopause. I'm so furious I'm in danger of demonstrating my perimenopause range in his surgery, though maybe that would be no bad thing. I have the symptoms, I repeat, all consuming at range anxiety, brain fog, mood swings, irritability, trouble sleeping. I can give you a prescription for antidepressants or sleeping tablets. If you think that would help, he interrupts. No, I say standing up. I didn't come here for antidepressants. I came here for my symptoms to be taken seriously, and it's clear you're not doing that with them. I marched out of his room feeling the heat and the range rising inside me, threatening to boil over at any point. I carry on through the waiting area, aware that there is some kind of smiley face feedback chart and feeling the sudden urge to smash it into teeny pieces. I continue at the same speed off the doors and through the car park until I reach my dirty old banger, fumble for my keys, get in and burst into tears. It is some time later before I realise that if I'd say on the bonnet, I could at least have washed it at the same time.
So there you are, I've read a whole chapter in coming up to half an hour. The next chapter is about Alexa, and I'm on chapter 11. Bye for now.